You are receiving this presentation as a current 7th grader or parent of a 7th grader who started their world language journey with Orono Schools in 5th grade and continued to take world language in 6th and 7th grade. This presentation will talk about world language opportunities and registration for 8th grade and beyond. Before talking specifically about 8th grade, I'm going to give a few reminders about the world language requirement in general. World language is a required course in 8th grade. It is not required after 8th grade. It is offered at the high school as an elective class, but would be a class that a student and their parents would choose to take rather than need to take as a requirement for high school graduation. There is no world language requirement for graduation from Orono Public Schools or the state of Minnesota. That being said, it's important to keep in mind if your student is a student who would like to go to college or sees college as a part of their future. Many colleges do require 2 to 4 years of the same world language for admissions into that college. In 8th grade, students will take a world language class that meets every day for a full period for the entire year. This is a change from what they're currently doing. In 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, they took world language class for only 1 day of the week. This will be a significant increase to their course load in 8th grade as it really truly becomes a 5th core class, being a class that meets every day for a full period the entire year and is an academic course. In 8th grade, the level of difficulty of most classes is going to increase, and this is adding a 5th core class. Your student will be presented with 4 different registration options for 8th grade world language. Their choices are 8th grade Spanish, Spanish 1, which is a high school level course, German 1, which is a high school level course, and Chinese 1, which is a high school level course. I'm going to take a minute to explain the difference between these options. 8th grade Spanish. This is truly the next class in this sequence. They took 5th grade Spanish, 6th grade Spanish, are currently taking 7th grade Spanish, and this would be what is next. The difference is that it will meet every day of the week, and this class is comparable in course load to their other 8th grade core classes in terms of difficulty and amount of work. It is important to know that in 8th grade, the level of difficulty of almost all of their classes is going to increase due to them being a grade further on in their schooling. If a student were to choose to take 8th grade Spanish, which is the next course in the sequence, they would take that class in 8th grade, and then once they go to the high school, if they were to choose to continue on in their language studies, they could take level 1, which is a high school level course, of any language. They are not necessarily committed to taking Spanish. If your student strongly wishes to study German or Chinese but is not quite ready to take on a high school level course next year, this is a great option for them. They would take 8th grade Spanish next year. When they get to 9th grade, if they were to choose to continue studying a language, they would take level 1. In 10th grade, they could take level 2, and they could continue on to get level 3 and level 4. So if they even wanted to go to one of those schools that had the max requirements of 4 years of high school level language, they would be able to complete that with this option. The other options are all high school level courses. These courses are also taught at the high school and are taught at the high school level of rigor. They will find a significantly faster pace and more outside of class practice work and studying than any of their other 8th grade classes. These level 1 courses truly are taught at the high school level. They are going to find a significant difference from their 8th grade level courses, which remember are at an increased level of difficulty from their 7th grade courses. So they are going to find a much faster pace and a lot more work and studying that needs to be done outside of class. These classes are not for all students. These classes are for students who are truly looking for more of a challenge and who are ready to take on the coursework and the load of a high school level course. If a student were to take one of these level 1 courses in 8th grade, they would be able to choose from Spanish 1, Chinese 1, or German 1. They would be taking this high school level course in 8th grade. This truly is a very advanced option. If in 8th grade they were to take that level 1 course, in ninth grade they would need to continue to the level 2 of the same language. After that, if they wish to continue to get more years of world language, they could go on to level 3, then level 4, and at 12th grade they would have the option to take AP or advanced placement of that language. When deciding which language to take, you can certainly talk to Miss Hubert, your 6th and 7th grade world language teacher, and she can offer you some advice and a recommendation on which level is appropriate for you. We really want all students to have a great experience in 8th grade world language, and this is really contingent upon them being placed where they should be placed. Parents and students are encouraged to stop by during conferences and talk to Mrs. Hubert about world language registration options for next year. You could find her in the 7 Down house in room 126. Some other things to think about is how 7th grade has gone. Really take an honest reflection and think about 7th grade. Think about the grades you have received, the amount of practice work you've completed, and what kind of study skills you have developed over the year. Think about the time it takes you to do work and the time you just have in general. So many students are involved in so many extracurricular activities and so many other outside of school activities that you have to think about their course load in general, because we want them to make sure that they have a well-rounded, full experience in 8th grade. All of their classes are going to increase in level of difficulty no matter what world language class they take. Even their other core classes are going to increase in level of difficulty. Think about the need for retakes. Is that something that they have had to rely on very heavily in 7th grade? The pace of the high school level courses goes so much faster than their 7th and 8th grade courses that will be a hard thing to keep up with. We really would just want to make sure that students are placed where they should be and that they're ready to take on the challenge of a high school level course if they're doing so. If not, 8th grade Spanish is really a fabulous option. It is still a rigorous course. It's still going to be an increase in course load. They'll have a great experience in 8th grade if that's where they should be placed, and then can go on to still take 4 years of whatever language they choose once they are at the high school. Please look for an email from the school at the end of February with registration directions, and in the meantime, if you have any questions, please contact Mrs. Hubert.